and welcome back to my ranked team battle series. My name is Hellfish and today we talk about Himmelsdorf. The first thing you will notice looking at Himmelsdorf is the position of the spawns. You have the defending team in the top left and the attacking team in the bottom right. In random battles you spawn over here and over here. So this is quite an important difference from your standard random mode, because the attacking team can actually get to the hill really quickly and the defending team has a long way to go. So you can't really expect to get the hill from the defending side. But on the other hand, the defending team can easily just drive down the 1-2 line at the start of the battle without any resistance. That makes it very hard for the attacking team to cross this corner, because if you try to do so and there are auto-loading tanks positioned over here and over here, they can simply shoot underneath those train carts here. And they will track you and you can't do anything about it. So it's very hard for the attacking team to actually get down on the 1-2 line. Also, the attacking team is very quickly in the 8 line. But at the same time, the defending team can take the 2 line and they can also take positions on the 3 line, trying to shoot across through these gaps between the buildings. Let's have a look at the positions of the cap circles. Cap circle number 2 seems to be the same as it is in your standard random battle mode. However, there is a slight difference. In standard mode, the cap circle is positioned like this. That means there's absolutely no cover on the circle, and tanks sitting in those windows here can basically decap all day long. Now in the attack defense mode, the cap circle is moved to the right. And what that means is you can cap in this corner and you can cap up here in that corner behind the houses, and you cannot get shot from here. Let's look at the other cap circle. The defining feature of this cap circle is this little building over here. It's not inside the cap circle but just at the edge. So that means you can hide it behind it with a small tank like the AMX-12T over here, and you cannot take shots from inside the train station or the corner over here, or even tanks pushing out on A1. However, you are not safe if the enemy manages to make it down here or into this gap over here. So what does this mean for the two teams and how do you have to approach Himmelsdorf? Well, let's start with the defending team. Generally, as the defending team, you want to try to secure one side of the map. The easiest approach is going down the 1-2 line. You can also take some hull down positions around the central square. However, these positions here are exposed to fire from the hill. So if you want to use those positions, you will need tanks to return fire in the positions over here, 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 or even boost it between those buildings. You can get up there with someone giving you a slight push up like this. Alternatively, you can also defend on the other side of the map by guarding the 8 line or creating an ambush at the hill. However, doing so will expose cap 1 and force you to move if the enemy is going for the left side of the map. Let's look at an example for a strong defending strategy using our standard setup of 4 IS-3s, 2 AMX-5100 and 1 AMX-12T or T-37. At the start of the battle, the 2 AMX-5100s quickly drive down the 1 line. The 4 IS-3s take positions in the gaps at the 3 line to shoot across the central square. Our tier 6 light tank goes full speed to the other side of the square, proxy spotting enemy tanks at the 8 line corner. In case the enemy should attempt to cross the 8 line, all our tanks can shoot across the square and get easy side shots. In case no enemy gets spotted in the first minute of the battle, it's safe to assume the attack is coming over the hill heading for cap 2. In this case, just return all tanks back to the base and defend. Let's see this exact strategy in action. We play with our standard setup, 4 IS-3s, 2 5100, 1 AMX-12T. The 5100s, supported by 1 IS-3, proceed to go down the 1-2 line. The other 3 IS-3s take positions along the 3 line to shoot through the gaps at the central square. The AMX-12T does a hero run full speed to the other side of the square to proxy spot any enemy tanks going down the 8 line. And here they come. Our 12T takes cover in the corner and the enemy is charging straight in. Our tanks on the other side of the square open fire and do some initial damage. They proceed down the 8 line, taking more shots from the other side of the square. In the meantime, the 12T is still in cover in his corner, and the enemy can't get to him. Unfortunately, one IS-3 makes it into the D line and takes down the 12T through the window. At the edge of the screen, another IS-3 crosses the 8 line and takes further shot. And we score another hit. Now at this point we are 1 tank down, but the battle is basically already won. In 754, generally speaking, you don't come back from a 2500 hit point deficit. So we just group up our tanks with the 2 AMX 5100s and 1 IS-3 at the corner. Then we charge in and finish the enemy off. This push is actually rather poorly executed. What we should have done is push to the other side of the crossroads to avoid fire from the other guy at the end of the road. But it doesn't matter at this point. Our lead in hit points is so big thanks to the shots fired across the square at the beginning of the match that we can basically play whatever we want from this point on. It's just a matter of cleaning up the remaining damaged tanks. Another 2 IS-3s push through the D line, shoot the enemy in the butt, while the other 2 guys finish off the damaged IS-3. And while we lose another couple of tanks, there is no way the enemy can come back from this deficit. At no point there was any real danger of losing this match. Simply thanks to the damage we did initially, shooting across the square. And the last remaining enemy 5100 goes down. Let's talk about attacking on Himmelsdorf. The first thing you usually do is take the hill. This gives you great opportunities to get shots into the D line, shoot tanks going down the 3 line, and maybe get some shots at careless tanks on the 2 line through the gaps between the houses. Having the hill also allows you to do a quick attack on Cap 2. For the rest of your tanks there are 3 options. You can either drive down the K line, going for the 1-2 line, or you go up the hill to attack Cap 2. The third option is going for the 8 line corner. From this corner you can proceed to either attack Cap 1 or Cap 2. Your tier 6 light tank can be used for spots at the bottom left corner of the map, or for a quick spotting run over the hill. Once you have a rough idea where the enemy is hiding, you decide which cap circle you want to attack. Use the tier 6 light tank to build up cap pressure, hiding either behind the building on Cap 1 or in the corners on Cap 2. Use the rest of your setup to take defensive positions around the cap circle to intercept and kill any enemy tanks trying to get decapping shots on your tier 6 tank. Let's look at an example strategy for the attacking side. We send 2 AMX 50-100s on the hill, where they get great crossfire all along the D line and shots onto the 3 line. Our 4 heavy tanks, the IS-3s, take defensive positions at the 8 line corner. The AMX-12T does a spotting run to the left side of the map to spot enemy tanks going down the 1-2 line. These initial positions give us great flexibility and allow us to attack both Cap 1 and Cap 2. Let's look at this strategy in action. The 4 IS-3s go for the 8 line, with the 2 AMX 50-100s climbing up the hill to cover them. The AMX 12T goes for a spotting run to the left side of the map. The enemy tries to play a similar strategy to our defense, using the T-37 to proxy spot our IS-3s at the 8 line. However, we don't fall for that and don't try to cross. Instead, we use our IS-3s and the AMX 50-100s on the hill to contest the enemy AMX 50-100s on the 3 line. One of the 50-100s is careless and pokes out too far. He takes fire from the hill and eventually goes down with a couple of blind shots. The enemy T-37 is a bit careless, trying to get shots into our IS-3s, and he gets punished for it. In the meantime, the AMX-12T has spotted that the 1-2 line is empty and 2 IS-3s are already moving up to secure it. The T-37 goes down and we can proceed with our attack, moving the AMX 50-100s off the hill to cover the 2 IS-3s on the central square. In the meantime, the 2 other IS-3s caught up to the 12T and proceed down the 1 line. The 12T goes for Cap 1 and takes cover behind the building. In the middle of the map we can see the 2 IS-3s crossing the central square, covered by the 2 50-100s. Now it's the enemy's turn to make a move. Our 2 IS-3s are carefully looking into the D line and the 3 line, and we already see the enemy charge coming in. They push at our 2 IS-3s, and those 2 wisely decide to fall back to the inside of the square. The enemy continues to charge, and they take a lot of hits from our 50-100s in the back and our 2 IS-3s on the side. In the meantime, the 12T is still sitting on the cap circle, keeping up the pressure. One by one the enemies go down, and the 2 full HP IS-3s from the 1 line also get involved in close combat. Finally, we do lose 1 tank, but we can finish off the remaining 2 enemies even before the cap is completed. One last piece of advice. Winter Himmelsdorf and Himmelsdorf are not 100% the same map in attack-defense mode. While they look similar, Cap 1 is actually slightly further south, which means you cannot cap in cover behind the building on Winter Himmelsdorf. You will be exposed to shots from the train station, from the corner at the 3 line, and from tanks on A1. This makes it very easy for the defender to simply camp around the spawn, giving the attacker a hard time on this map. I hope that with my advice and some practice you will have many good matches on Himmelsdorf. Tune in next time when we talk about mines. If you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitch. Thanks for watching.